October 13th, 2023. I mean, he's taken them too. He just hasn't made more than one since then. He's made one just in a couple different games, but that's another red flag to me. That's like, man, if you're not able to knock down multiple threes in a game, I just can't buy into you as a shooter. Defense and everything else looks great. He's as good as advertised on defense. Don't get me wrong there, but yeah, anybody like wanting to bring him to the Pistons, like, sure, believe in his shooting, but it's going to take a long time. And then, like, really, you want to bring in that guy. And so you can't play him and Star and Durham together, then forget that, throw that out. That's not going to happen within the first year or two, maybe even year three. And then the night to Ivy or Cater like, you're just asking for trouble in that. Or unless you want to trade away Jalen Durham, which honestly is a legitimate possibility. So if you say, hey, we'll trade Durham for like a big time shooter or something, and then bring in Sar, okay, that makes more sense. But putting Sar and Durham together, it's not going to work out. It's not going to be what's best for both of them, in my opinion. And Sar's projection as a 3-point shooter, again, I'm not going to come up here and say he's never going to do it, but it's a long ways away. When you can't make multiple threes in a game consistently, it's going to take a while.
Just a couple more questions I want to ask you, Steve. If you were the Pistons, and let's just say in the last 2 years we fall down to 5. Let's just say we fall down to 5 again. What would you do with the pick?
I mean, that's when I really would try to trade it for real. I mean, I don't know how many takers I would get for real, but if I could get 2 picks and then, get some shooters there, that'd be great. Keeping it real though, like they probably have to keep 5, and then it really depends on who is there. I mean, I would hope Cody Williams is there because at least he has an enticing all-around skill set. I might take Ron Holland, but I also think that's a bad idea. He's probably not playable with Asar and Duran as well. I mean, this is really where you start to think about guys like Jacoby Walter or, again, like FURPHY. That's probably too high for FURPHY, but these guys that are like legitimate knockdown 3-point shooters, I mean, you're probably looking at not necessarily overdrafting, but starting to think about somebody like Tyler Smith. Like, that's a huge wild card. You brought him up, but he's consistently shot the ball really well. This team has talked about needing like a stretch 4. He's young. He's freshman age. He'll be like 19, 20 next year. It makes total sense. Something like that is probably the route I would go at 5 if I couldn't trade down, because, again, everybody else here seems like too big of a risk. And the difference to me between like Luis Shea and Tyler Smith is like Tyler Smith, I don't need to put pressure on him right away to be good. He's already got the skill set that I want that's lined up. Whereas Luis Shea, like, they're pretty much throwing him out there to the wolf and be like, you have to be the small forward starter. You have to be able to maintain that 3-point percentage right away. And Ignacio Rosado of No Ceilings and FIBA and Pro Insight was on my podcast recently. He's probably the best international scout out there in the NBA draft, Twitter space and online space. And he said the same thing of like, Lisa Shea's shooting is good, but you can't expect him to come in and just take over. If you already have shooters around him, then you can work him in easier. But Detroit, and his words, Detroit just has a bad history of turning good shooters into mediocre shooters and turning mediocre shooters into bad ones. It's not a good spot for him.
I would definitely agree with everything you said. The one thing I would do is let's just say somebody gives me like, let's just say KC give me 10 or 12, 10 to 12, 10 to 13. That's what picks they got. Let's just say they want to trade up and get Cody Williams because it's Jalen Sam Williams' brother. Let's just say, Steve. Let's just say it might happen. You never know. Let's just say, right? The 2 guys I would probably take. I would double up on the shooting. I would take Johnny FURPHY, and Tyler Smith. That would be my 2 picks for the Pistons. Double up on the shooting. you want to, you can bring FURPHY along slowly. I think Tyler Smith can be the 4. His defense kind of wonky, but I think eventually he can be an okay, solid defender, an okay, solid team defender. But everything else, he's gonna be that third option guy who can put the ball on the floor a little bit, but more